Good morning. So today I thought I would hop on. It's been a little minute since I did a video. These arrived on my doorstep a few days ago, and I am very, very excited to be stocking them in the shop. And so I thought maybe we could discover the deck together. So this will be a sort of quick walkthrough, and I've like very briefly looked at the cards, but really not in any detail. I just was very excited, so I unboxed mine and started flipping through the cards. But this will be a kind of more or less first-ish impressions, and then perhaps some playing with pairs. Stasia was so sweet, and I guess this came with all of the Kickstarters. I got a little envelope full of some goodies, so before we dive into the deck, I will just show you what Stasia included, which was such a lovely treat. So we have this excellent, sassy looking cat with a... They're looking pretty dangerous with that knife, but it looks like they're using it just to go mushroom hunting, which is just adorable. So I look forward to finding somewhere nice to put that. And then there's another like bonus beautiful piece of artwork with Stasia's Etsy shop and email address on the back. And then lastly, this special creature, if I can get it out of the plastic. Absolutely beautiful coin. I don't know if you can see, but it says yes there underneath the moth, and then this lovely kind of maze on the background. And you can't tell, but it feels lovely. It's like nice and weighty, and has a like all the raised surfaces, so it's very enjoyable to fiddle with. Okay, so back to the deck, or onto the deck. This lovely inside. Like every detail of the production of this is really unbelievable. Stasia has knocked it out of the park. Again, you can see those two together. Just an absolutely gorgeous box. It's like hardcover, as you would imagine. It's got this gorgeous kind of... She looks slightly pinky. I am doing this in the daytime, but the light in my house is currently very dim because it's clouded outside. So I hadn't noticed that this had a sort of pinky hue to it before. So maybe it's like very faint. I'm not sure if you could tell. It might be more silvery in a brighter light. Let me just hold it out to the light. Oh, it's like holographic. I'm just holding it up to the window a little bit. But yeah, definitely got a little bit of a pinkiness to it. And then you have this lovely guidebook, which is excellent. It's kind of slightly poetic. Well, it is poetic. It's not just sort of standard descriptions of the cards. I will draw a card, and there's a good amount for the minors as well. So I'll draw a card later and read something from the guidebook. We also have a little bit of history, how to use the deck, some simple spreads, nice space for you to create your own, which I think is really sweet. So you can like connect with the deck and then maybe create a spread that feels right for you for the deck. And then a little bit about Stasia. And that's it. So now for the exciting part. Let me move this over a little. Deeply sweet, carefree, full card, which I do really enjoy. It's like the innocence of the child, this sense of free abandon, not being like weighed down by the troubles and worries of life, and a nice little butterfly of transformation there. Wow, what a powerful magician. I love this because it's like slightly more subtle than your usual magician. And I often find the magician card a little bit like overt. It's kind of, to me, that's not really the energy of the magician card as being about, you know, bringing our life into alignment, bringing ourselves into alignment with our goals, and this sense that you already have everything you need inside you. To me, that's not performative. You know, there's a way in which, like, this kind of empowerment of the magician to create the world and the life that they want, you know, really is about like settling into the self and really knowing yourself. Is something quite inward about it, actually. Although it's about bringing it manifest into your life. Yeah, I think it is. I appreciate this depiction of it. I won't talk as much about every card. The Druid, yeah, so Stasia has changed some of the names of the mages to kind of reflect their understanding and their experience of the mages and the journey, the sort of fool's journey. I'm sure that maybe I should have read a little. I did read this when I received the deck a few days ago, but I have promptly forgotten, so I'm wondering if there was something. Okay. I'm not sure there's anything in here about the renamed. Where did I read that about that? Well, I will see if I can pause and find out before the end of the video and let you know. But yeah, so here we have the Druid for the High Priestess. It's this complete like embeddedness in nature, being kind of one with what is beyond our consciousness. 3, the Matrix. Wow, I love that instead of the Empress. Yeah, the sense that the Empress is the fabric of reality. She is nature. She is the receptive energy of the universe, the holding energy. Beautiful, and I love all of her tattoos. The Ward instead of the Emperor. Wow. Storytellers for the Hierophant. What a beautiful Hierophant. Wow. Yeah, and I love that, because it's like the idea of the Hierophant as like the keeper of ancestral wisdom, the keeper of this knowledge that we've passed down from generation to generation. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. Okay, so the Lovers. Tenacity, yes please. The Barbarian. Interesting, this kind of speaks to those like parts of our inner nature that we not tame, but get to know and become in allyship with through the Strength card. The Wanderer. The Hermit. Flow for the Wheel of Fortune, which I adore. Justice. Oof, that's a tough card. Suspension. This reminds me a little bit of one of my favourite cards from the Playful Heart Tarot, which is, also the Hanged one. Death. Temperance. That merger between fire and water. Powerful Devil. The Tower. Star. Ah, this was the artwork that was on that thank you note from Stasia. Yeah, I think working with the guidebook is going to be really important for this deck. Although, like, the the imagery feels very accessible. I think there's some things that will be helpful, like for example this Judgment card. I don't immediately... Well, why don't we have a look? Judgment, where are you? See if you can see it. A shield, discernment, boundaries. To draw clearly a line between what is and is not acceptable to you, how you will be treated. Who and how you are in the world is up to you. You are your own judge. Be kind and generous with yourself, who've been policed and judged so hard already. You can change your mind and you can ask for space. Okay, so quite a different take on the Judgment card. Normally I would read it as being about awakening. But actually I mean, first of all, tarot is what the artist... how the artist expresses it. Like in my view, every single one of these cards is like an archetype that has almost infinite different ways that you can interpret the energy of the archetype. Archetypes are deep and wide and broad. So although this is not how my go-to reading of Judgment, and I'm very open to the way that the artist has interpreted it. And yeah, I also like the idea of it also being about discernment around who you are and who you want to be. Like that is a part of the process of leveling up, of stepping into a new version of yourself. That kind of awakening calling card requires you to be clear about, you maybe can't bring everything with you from, the old version of yourself. So there's something really strong about that. This is the line, and in order for me to step into my new self, I have to be clear about what I'm taking with me and what I'm not. The world, beautiful. Wow. Oh, I love her. Ace of Wands. So fairly Rider-Waite-Smith, or Smith-Waite rather, true. As far as I remember, also from looking a little bit at the guidebook. Beautiful. Oh, I love this. What a powerful Seven of Wands. Yes, exactly. Oh, wow. I can feel that card in my body. The exhaustion. You've burned through all of the matches and you offered yourself as the match. You're just absolutely spent and yet still giving more of yourself. Powerful. The warmth in the characters in this deck is also just delightful. He's got kind of magician energy to me. To say this is such an inviting deck. I mean, it's not that it's light and doesn't address or deal with kind of challenging issues. I mean, it's a tarot deck, so you have the whole 78 archetypes in there. Oh, beautiful. But there's something really, really warm and inviting and nurturing about the artwork of the deck. Gorgeous Five of Cups. I've seen a couple of Five of Cups where there's this person sort of almost drowning, but that the water is very shallow, which I love as an idea for the Five of Cups. It's this sort of yeah, a sense of overwhelm, maybe by feeling overwhelmed by your emotions, but actually that there's not a kind of real material threat. Yeah. Sweet. And I also really like depictions of the Seven of Cups that offer like different actual paths, kind of shows the consequences of the different choices that we might make. So yeah, no, this would make a good judgment card. I think Judgment and the Eight of Cups are quite well connected as cards. Yes. I'd like to be there, hanging out, drinking cosmic tea with my feet in the river. I'm noticing that the Queen of Wands, if I can... There we go. And the Queen of Cups, it's like she sort of... Oh, can't see. There we go. They kind of become the element in a way, like she's really part of the river, part of the water, and here she's fully embodied as the flame. So I wonder if there's something there, yeah, about queens around embodiment of the element of the suit. I'll be interested to see what happens with the swords and the pentacles. Yes, slicing through reality, clarity, vision. Oh, yes, there's something here about the ways that we pass our pain on to others. Beautiful depiction. Wow, I love that. You can see here she's sort of hurting herself with the gesture, this like defensive gesture that actually ends up just sharp nails, kind of, you know, hurting the inside, her soft palms. Sneaking away in the night. Oh, I'm curious about... Let's see what the guidebook has to say here for the Eight of Swords. Restriction, powerlessness, victimization. Bound, feeling powerless and in pain. Danger, sense has gone off. State of shock. Constricted, restricted. A deer in headlights. Oh yeah, okay, I see that. Blinded, innocent. To feel helpless and vulnerable, in disbelief and paralyzed. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, the Eight of Swords is always a bit of a tough love card. It's like, yes, you're in pain, and how much of that is about your outlook and your how much are you allowing yourself to remain in that state? Oh. Oh, the freedom in that Page of Swords is delightful. I really, really like Stasia's takes on the archetypes, actually, a lot. I think this, as much as I'm loving this deck, and I think, you know, very, very usable for anybody, I think it would also be really good for a beginner. Because it's not like, I don't really like recommending the Smith-Waite for beginners. Just because I think there's, although the symbolism is really great, you know, like it has informed the development of thousands of tarot decks. I just feel like this is more approachable, it's more diverse, it's, to my mind, much, much more beautiful. I've never been particularly drawn to Pixie's artwork as much as I'm very grateful to her for having created the deck. It's not so much my cup of tea. This however, is. And I think it's, intuitively very readable, like the Smithwaite, for a beginner. There's scenes that you can really dive into. Oh, wow. Oh, I desperately want... Okay, last one that I'm going to read, but I really would love to know what that Six of Stone speaks to. Okay, so we have exchange, interface, shadow. To acknowledge difference, to face fear, to be gentle, to recognize the caged, tortured, neglected animals, starved and rejected, vilified mutations of our power, precious, monstrous selves, to acknowledge the mask. When you do a thing, who is it for? Wow. Okay, I'm going to have to sit with that because I've never... That feels new to me as an interpretation of the Six of Stones, and I'm sure that if I sit with it enough, I will be able to kind of connect it with my numerological understanding of sixes and pentacles and whatnot. But yeah, I think that's going to take a little reflection, but I find the image really, really entrancing. Yeah. Also feels like there's so much freedom in this deck. Care, gentleness, freedom, wisdom. I mean, it's just... Oh, wow. Oh, I love her. Yes. Oh, I never looked at... I didn't notice the Queen of Swords, but again, we have the sort of physical embodiment of the suit here with the Queen. Go on, let's have a quick look at the page, Knight, King, and... Okay, yeah. So again, there's a sense of the sort of becoming the crow here. Lovely. Ah, right, and that was the last card, which I think that might be one of my favourite cards in the deck. It was just gorgeous, although there are a lot to choose from. And then we have two additional cards. The Wonder card, which seems to be like she's sort of reading a book and whilst cradled inside what looks like a sort of dragon with a dragon eye. It's the way that our imagination can transport us, our sense of wonder can take us anywhere. And then we have Wild. So there we have a full flip through. I can give you a sense of the... Yeah, shuffles beautifully. The cards have a really nice snap to them. They feel like they will hold up very nicely. I'll try and do a riffle for you. Not that I'm very good at riffle shuffling. Yeah, like a little bit stiff to begin with, but really feels like the cards will flex up over time. Like, very nice. You can see it's on the slightly chunkier side, but I really don't think it's going to be an issue because it's a standard tarot size. So okay, let's pull a card for the collective before I do some pairs. What might we all need in this moment? Oh, jumped out. We have two cards. Five of Wands and Wild. Okay. Yeah. I mean, the first thing that I'm drawn towards is there's a lot of energy in these cards. The Five of Wands, we've got the sticks that are kind of meeting one another. And in the cross points between the sticks, we see these sparks, this fire that's emerging. It's like you can't like, you know, that if you stay kind of hermited and in your own zone, there's a lot to be gained from introspection, but also at some point we have to come out and meet the world, and like that's how we can create, you know, in the sense of our passions and our projects and relationships with other people. They all happen in the moment of meeting the world. And there's something also with this snake that feels very transformative about that. We're turning, you know, wooden sticks into something more, into fire, flame, creativity, and then also this wild card here that is, you know, I guess speaks to the unpredictability of that process. That yes, you know, we, in meeting the world, in putting ourselves out there and allowing ourselves to come into contact with others, there is a kind of wild and unpredictable element to that. But in the end, that is what has created the universe. Like, we wouldn't be here without that risk of particles meeting each other, of us meeting each other. So it feels like this is a sort of message around being brave enough to enter the wildness and to meet the world as our fullest selves and create. So let's read from the guidebook. 5 of Wands. Friction, rhythm, conflict. A sidewinder weaves through hot flames created from the rubbing of sticks. Rubbing from different sources, directions, viewpoints, angles, maybe confusion, intensity for sure. Flame is a tool, a good and a violence, a pain. We can use the friction of our differences to create a generative change, a heat for good, to warm together at the same fire. Yeah, absolutely. So not dismissing or turning away from the fact that flame and wildness can be dangerous and violent, but if we come with good intentions and with the hope to create, then it can also be very powerful in a very positive way. So the write-up for the wild card is just ... which I love and appreciate. So I'll take a pause and grab some decks for pair work. Okay, I'm back with some pairs, and the first deck that I would like to try to pair with the Yukika Tarot, this is the one I have the most hope for as being a good pairing, is Life and Fire. Yeah, I feel like they've got somehow a very complementary art style and a very similar energy. So we have, let's do a kind of quick, okay. Shuffle a view and a quick. Okay, Queen of Swords and Stoke. Let's try and make these sort of vaguely even. Ten of Wands and Connection. See, I feel like they will go well together, but so far I'm not seeing great synchronization between the energies of the cards. Page of Swords and Pause. So here I've almost got like very... Yeah, actually with a lot of them there's been a kind of oppositional energy. So with the tenacity and the fluid stream, it's like tenacity gives me the energy of sort of pushing forwards, whereas the fluid stream is like a surrendering kind of energy. Page of Swords has a very rapid active energy to me again, and Pause really has the opposite. So maybe there's something about kind of these decks speaking to each other in terms of dualities. 8 of Wands and Timeless, yeah, okay. Ward and Stop. 9 of Swords and Receive, okay, yeah. I like them. Visually, I like them. I know they're not really the same art style, but somehow, I don't know. I stole the word egregore from Marine at Waves of Your Soul, which I don't think I'd ever heard that word before until I watched her channel, and I love it. So, like, yeah, I feel like the egregore of the decks match very nicely. Matrix and Truth. Yeah, I do like it. I think maybe the decks need a little time to sort of, if I work with them together a bit, the energies hopefully will synchronize as I get to know the decks better. Okay, so this was my friend Fire. Then I will grab something quite different. So I'm wondering about the Next World Tarot, which again I'll give it a quick shuffle. Oh, well, that's good. I think they like each other. Two High Priestesses together. Oh, beautiful. Yes, please. Six of Wands and the Magician. Yeah. King of Cups and the Magician. Oh, wow. Yeah. These two seem to immediately sing together. And I guess it depends on if you like to pair tarot with tarot or oracle with tarot. I enjoy both. Sometimes I like to do kind of patchwork readings, which again I think is a phrase or an idea that I took from Tarot Sylvia at Tarot Magpie. These work wonderfully together. But yeah, sorry, with the patchwork spread, I will draw kind of one card from 4 or 5 different decks. It's actually one of my favourite ways to do readings. I love the juicy imagery from like different decks, and to see like different sort of ways that they speak together or contrast each other. Yeah, I really, really like that. Surprisingly, I think I prefer that to my friend Fire so far as a pairing. The next deck that I would like to try pairing is the Extraordinary Incantations Tarot and Oracle by Practical Magic. And this one is so small that I will do one on either side, which I don't actually ever do, but for visual purposes, let's give it a try. I think these might not be all in the right order, but let's see. Okay, so we have the 9 of Stone. I back down when I need to. I see, I ponder, I carry on and do. I enjoy my own company. Queen of Wands, nice. I can admit that I still have a lot to learn. Yeah, I really like this. I particularly like the kind of like having two phrases that might offer, well, they might either speak directly to one another, and it's sort of offering a kind of a message that, what's the word? You know, like the message in one card sort of boosts and is very similar to the message in the other card, or they might offer a sort of tension, which I also think is a really useful thing in tarot. I mean, yeah, it's always helpful to have duality, tension, something to reflect on, something juicy, so that you're not just receiving like a monotone message. Yeah. I like that, but then I like this deck with a lot of things. I mean, I think it's the like little written messages are really helpful. I think visually it looks really nice together. Very different art style, but kind of similar color palette. Yeah, okay, cool. I would definitely use that. And then what else do I have here? I definitely have something else. Right, okay, yeah, I think the last one that I'm going to try, for fear of this video being a million years long, is the Wisdom of the Shadow and the Wisdom of the Divine Feminine oracles. I think these are going to go very well. I have a little hunch. And in fact, possibly better than the others. I think my lighting is potentially affecting the quality of this video. I'm sorry if it's a little bit grainy. I will try and sort out some better lighting for the next video that I do. So here we have on the left hand side Wisdom of the Shadow, and here we have Wisdom of the Divine Feminine. If you have not heard of these decks, go and check them out. I also sell them in my shop, but they are just fabulous. I mean, like really, really potent for shadow work, as you might imagine. And also, they're very psychologically oriented, very embodied, and personally I find them to be very powerful readers and very good to complement tarot decks. Doubt, Knight of Stone, Grounding, love that. We've got a kind of like Sisyphus depiction here, which feels really nice with Doubt and Grounding. Three of Cups, Joy and Victory. Love Joy for that. Victory I'd have to have a think about. The Devil, Dependency and Passion. Wow. Oh yeah. These two are going to be fast friends. Balance and Expression with the Five of Stone. Courage and Blossoming with the King of Wands. Oh, look at the image synchronicity. This deck is really good for that. Like, often I will find that there's the imagery kind of things jump out of tarot cards that really synchronize. Grief and Collaboration. Oh, wow. The Temperance and Collaboration is beautiful. And we've even got this like reddy orange with the blue, and we've got the reds and the blue. It's this sense of like the coming together of the two in a way that kind of maybe is collaborative rather than confrontational, and then also allowing the space for like the flowing of temperance, the emotional alchemizing. Grief is a very alchemizing emotion. It turns pain and suffering into something something else. Page of Cups, Greed and Nature. Okay, we'll do one more. The Tower, Soul Care and Ease. Well, isn't that a way of rethinking the Tower card? That actually sometimes we need a Tower moment for our soul to grow, and if we can find ease in that moment, then maybe there'll be something really fruitful and beautiful to learn there. Wow. Good one to end on. I am really, really a big fan of combining these ones. I think that might have been in my last video too, that I was promoting Wisdom of the Shadow and Wisdom of the Divine Feminine as a good pairing. They really are. I need to do an unboxing video. I've been using the deck now for a little bit of time, and I probably have some more like interesting thoughts to share about it, like a full review rather than just first impressions. So I think I will do that very soon on the channel. Otherwise, this has been the Yukika Tarot. A really, really, first of all, highly professional. I mean, like the production quality, the card stock, all of the cards I think are really wonderful, innovative, but close enough to be very approachable depictions of the Smith-Waite, and I think it will be one of my go-tos. I only bought a small number for the shop, but I suspect they will be out of the door fairly fast. So, yeah, I think I will look at restocking if Stasia is open to it once they go. Okay, that's everything, folks. Thanks so much for sticking around if you got this far, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Thanks very much. Bye.